Hey vinyls people, hope everyone's doing well. For my second video, I thought I would pull some things out of my Monkees collection to share and show you. I believe I was listening to the Monkees before I discovered the Beatles, even at probably 3 or 4. Discovered them watching the reruns on Saturday mornings, which was probably 69 or 70, I believe. But I remember watching them and the Archies and Banana Splits and all that good stuff at the time. So, got first album, and this is the one with the misspelling of Papa Jean's Blues, which is on the front and back of the record. And let's see, this is a Canadian one that has the gene corrected on the front cover, and it's on RCA Records. And it's still spelled Jean on the back, so they didn't correct the spelling on that. The interesting thing about the Canadian pressings is that they were on the RCA Living Stereo, what some call the Silver Dog label, and they were all on that label through till I think the last Canadian album, which was Monkees Present, which I have. More of the Monkees. This is a mono copy, American copy. And I guess the story is the Monkees really hated this record. Their producer, Donnie Kirshner, apparently put it together and Rush released it while they were on their first tour. And they thought the choice of tracks and takes and everything were not very good. But a lot of people love this album, so, and I do too. I think the Kirshner formula actually worked in their favor, but they did go on to make some great stuff after that. So I guess what I'm trying to point out here is this is a second copy that has the round Cold Gems signia, and this has the straight one. The first pressings just said Cold Gems on them. And let's see. This is Headquarters, and this was the first album where they got to play their instruments and choose their own material. And this is the first copy, which has the two producers pictured down at the bottom on the back. And this is a second copy, which has a photo of the Monkees with the producers pictured on the back. So at some point they replaced the photo with this for the second edition. And Pisces, Aquarius, Capricorn, and Jones Limited came out after Headquarters. And this is many people's favorite Monkees album. And it's got some great songs. It's got some psychedelic style songs on it, as well as, just some great straight ahead pop music as well. But it's certainly a great record. And after that, they came out with Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees. And the big hit on this was Valerie and Daydream Believer. And I like this record very much. It's not many people's favorite Monkees album, but it's mine. So there you go. And this is a very rare mono copy, which is very scarce. And the mixes are very different. This is on the Cold Gems label. So I was very happy when I found that. One of my favorite projects that the Monkees were involved in was their movie Head. And this is the soundtrack to the movie, which was compiled by actor Jack Nicholson. And he really did a great job putting this together. It really stands on its own rather than just being a soundtrack album. This is a Japanese pressing on Arista. But on its own, it really is a work of art. And it's basically a sound collage mixed with the songs and music from the movie. And I don't know, for me, some of their greatest material is on here. Porpoise Song and Circle Sky, Can You Dig It, As We Go Along. Just really nice songs and performances. This is a UK copy with a white glass cover. And it's also mono. The orange RCA label. And I had been wanting to get one of those for a long time. Fortunately, Discogs has made a lot of import pressings readily available, where that wasn't the case when I was collecting back in the 80s and 90s. So, yeah, this is a Canadian copy with a gray cover. They didn't do the foil. And what's interesting with this is on the red RCA Shaded Dog Living Stereo label. So that was really thrilling when I discovered that, as I collect RCA Living Stereo albums. Let's see. This is Davy Jones' first solo record. This was before the Monkees. It's a mixture of show tunes and popular songs. It's not, I don't know, it's not the greatest album in the world, but it's interesting because of his Monkees connection. And this was a kind of reunion, or the closest to a Monkees reunion we could get in the mid-70s. Dylan's Jones, Boyce and Hart. And I remember when this came out, there was a lot of hoping that the Monkees would reunite all four of them, but this was good up until 1986 when they got back together and put this album out. This was after the big MTV series that they did. They re-showed the old episodes from the show and became really popular with a new generation of fans. And I saw them tour in '86, and it was a lot of fun. This is a kind of commemorative album of their '86 tour. It's hard to believe it was only 20 years ago at the time, but for their tours from '86 to like '96, it was pretty much a greatest hits act until Mike joined them in the 2000s, where they played a lot of deeper LP cuts and stuff from Head and Headquarters, which fortunately I got to see that show in Buffalo when they came there. Rhino did a great job reissuing unreleased Monkees tracks back in the 80s, and this was the first one, Missing Links. Then there was Missing Links 2, which came out on CD only for many years, and they just reissued this a couple years ago on one of the record store days. And this was the third installment. But really great albums and a lot of worthwhile tracks. This was the Monkees reunion album back in '96, their 30th anniversary. And it's got some good cuts on it. They did a remake of Circle Sky, and it was really popular at the time. But that also hadn't been on CD for many years. Friday Music put this out a few years back. There's another one. I think Rhino did this. Headquarters Sessions. It's mostly outtakes from the Headquarters album. And it's fun. And Friday Music did an alternative Head soundtrack. And I don't know. Some of the choices could have been better, perhaps, for the versions they chose to put on here. But it's nice to have a different, mix of it, I guess. But yeah, that was cool to have. And let's see, this was the final Monkees album. It had, did it have Davey? I'm trying to remember. Maybe not. Yeah, I guess it did. This was the last project Davy Jones was involved with, and they had an EP out as well. And that was fun. They had some great people write songs for this collection, like Andy Partridge and Noel Gallagher, Paul Weller, Neil Diamond, Ben Gibbard, River Cuomo. So they did a very honorable job creating a new Monkees material. And let's see, this last one was 2017 Summer of Love. It's basically a collection of the Monkees' most psychedelic tracks from I guess 66 through 68 maybe. One thing I would have put on here was Righting Wrongs from Birds, the Bees, and the Monkees, but I guess that's not a real popular track. So, anyhow, here's a copy of Monkees Present. And this was, in Canada, this was the final Monkees album of new material. This is actually a US copy on Coal Gems. I'm kind of going out of order here, but just prior to that was Instant Replay, which when I was a little kid, this was my absolute favorite Monkees record, and I was always told that Peter left because he got drafted and went to Vietnam, but I found out later that wasn't the case, fortunately. Just some more Canadian copies here. Friday's Music did some nice reissues on colored vinyl. I was trying to see if I could find one, but anyways, this is a cool picture disc that Rhino put out in the 80s. And there's two pressings for this. There was an 82 pressing and an 86 pressing. And the 86 is the one you want because it has better sound and it was cut from better tapes. And the cover says 1982 for both versions. And I'm trying to remember how you tell them apart. I guess you have to look at the matrix number in the run out to confirm which one it is. So that's pretty good sampling of my Monkees collection, and I just thought, hey, Sadie, this is Sadie. Thought I'd share that, and hopefully you guys enjoyed that. So everybody take care, and I will talk to you soon. Take care.